Good morning, you badass motherfuckers. It's the results. Kill excuses. The Morning Drinking Show. I'm your host, getting back on here once again. I'm your host, Greg, getting back on this motherfucker. We talking life. We doing life. If you're on this side of the screen, I promise you, we doing life. I cannot guarantee what you're doing. If you're doing life, living free, living wild, living your best life, right? Manifesting your dreams into reality, right? Setting intention on your day, healing, growing, right? Thriving. What is it, man? What is it? What is it that we are doing today? Any of that? Any of that? Or we just going to work? We just doing work. If you just doing work, that's a beautiful thing too. I never, ever, ever miss an opportunity to thank someone that's working. And especially when that work means serving me somehow. Yesterday, I had a team of workers um, at a hardware store help me load something. And man, even this woman, I'm pretty sure she was pregnant. You gotta be sensitive with that. But I'm pretty sure she was pregnant. And she even got on there and like helped lift. I was like, what are you guys doing? Thank you. And for me, it's always high fives all around. Thank you so much for showing up, doing what you're doing. Appreciate you guys. Right? Are you that type of person? Are you grateful, or are you this other version? So I was at another big box store, and actually it was the same big box store, and there was a long line. It's a hot day, right? It was mid upper 90s, hot day, long line. And I heard this lady say, I can't stand these fucking people. Lazy people. And she was talking about the employees. And I'll tell you what, there's something about when you hear shit like that, because that's a judgment, right? That's someone's opinion. Yes, we can agree with that. When you have an opinion about somebody else that's critical, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Most of y'all don't like hearing the truth, do you? That truth fucking gets to most motherfuckers. I'm a firm believer. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I welcome that. If you are judging it, meaning the behavior, the personality, um, the situation, if you are judging something about a situation or about someone else, guess what? It's in you. It's in you. That's it. It's that simple. If you are judging, if you think people are lazy, right, messed up, whatever it is, right, it's in you, right? Liars, cheaters. I mean, just all these little character things, right? You get triggered by politicians. You think they're narcissists or whatever, right? It's in you. It is in you. That is why you are being triggered. That's just truth. It's psychological, but again, it's this subconscious shit. And that's why most of us don't understand this, right? We think that somehow we have this other moral superiority over someone else, and that, our shit's all locked together. We're all fucking locked on, and we're seeing someone else in their mess. And when we have to put it down, call it out, right? Instead of just hold safe space for it, right? Then if you're judgmental of it, it's still in you because you're seeing something that is triggering you and your patterns and your insecurities. It's just the way it is. We do it. We all do it. And that's where it takes a lot of healing. That's that healing, right? That I've really grown tremendously on, man. tremendously. Because when you can truly heal mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, when you see other people, right, doing things, you just hold space for it, man. Because you ain't got to change nobody. So even like a day like yesterday, I sat around for a couple hours waiting to pick up something online order. I waited around so long. I went for a walk to a gas station. I didn't even care. See, that's the difference. When I showed up, right? My time matters, but there's nothing I can do. Insulting people, confronting people, getting fucking demanding and being like a Karen or whatever we're defining that as in 23, right? Being an ass, that doesn't get my stuff any sooner, right? Being rude to the server about how the chef in the back, which may just be one person holding down the whole restaurant and cook and cleaning dishes, about how your food came out, right? It's not going to make your food any better, right? But then you have no understanding for everything that's going on around you, outside of you. We get so caught up in ourselves. So yesterday, I showed up and I said, this is divine timing, because everything is. And there was a part of me that said, okay, I see a line at customer service. Maybe I should go and check out. Maybe I'll go shop first. So I went and shopped, right? And then I rolled in and I saw a big line at checkout and I was like, fuck, maybe customer service will help me. But there was still a big line at customer service. So I said, fuck it. Well, I'll just go wait at customer service, because there's long line at the checkouts. And this one, I heard all this complaining and grumbles. And so I get through customer service and they say, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while till we get to your stuff. And that's cool. It was a big, heavy thing. And so I said, all right. I was like, can I check out my stuff? And she's like, no. She didn't want to help me. So I was like, all right, so it's gonna be a while. Why don't you just go over there? They'll help you. And I went over there and they didn't even have people to help. So it was all self-checkout. And there's a long line there too. But the difference is, guys, is I'm showing up different. That shit don't phase me, man. And if it's phasing you, you got some stuff to work on. You got a lot of stuff to work on, right? If you're that impatient that you can't just understand that there's divine timing in it, right? That's a huge inconvenience of your time, right? If you have things to do, right? So at that point, you can make a choice. Do you walk out, right? Which is avoiding, right? Because that's slowing you down. And there are times where I'll see the situation for what it's worth and say, I don't got the time right now. Let me come back. But in this situation, maybe I didn't have the time, or I didn't want to invest the time, but I knew that going back wouldn't be any better, because it just puts it off to another day. I said, I'm just going to sit in this and make it happen. So I went into the other place, checked out my shit, took it out to my vehicle, realized that they were going to probably still take an hour or more to get my stuff. And so I went, walked to a gas station, walked to a store, right? Enjoyed my time, made the most out of it, right? Continued figuring out ways to do things and be productive. And the one thing I didn't allow to happen to me was to be frustrated, to be angry, right? To lose my state of emotional being, which is peaceful, right? Peaceful. It's neutral, man. It's neutral. It's a powerful place to be at peace, right? Because you're not worried about other people and their expectation. You can see divine timing in customer service being shit, right? Because people, maybe they don't want to hurt their backs, right? Maybe when it's a big, heavy thing, there's only a few people that are willing to step up and help, but those people are busy doing 10 other things, right? So what are they going to do? Me yelling is going to make people just come and rescue me and save me. That's what we want, right? We think if we yell and scream and get pissed off and let me talk to this person, that person, right? It's going to make things better for you. It doesn't. I'm having those types of situations with all kinds of, we call them integrations around here, but there's just some really bad customer service I've been running into. Me getting upset, me losing my shit, it's not making it any smoother, any better, any more quicker. And so everything just has to unfold in its time. As long as you continue to show up with due diligence, sometimes things run really smooth and sometimes there's all kinds of twists and turns. But it's your attitude in it. And that's the real results. That's the real results. Is what type of attitude do you show up in? And is your attitude based on the circumstances or the environment? So you got a good attitude on a Friday, but you got a shitty attitude on a Monday, going into the work, going into the job, right? You got a really fun attitude on a Saturday, right? Getting ready to go and do something fun as I just see 111s going across the board. So I know we're aligned here and we're talking truth. We're trying to manipulate, just trying to inspire and challenge people. And that's really the message of today, right? The things that always seem to show the way, that's the right path, are the things that probably challenge us the most, right? It's not the easy path, right? It's not the clear path. It's not the people that sort of say, don't worry, it's not your fault, everything's going to be okay, pat you on the bottom, rub your tummy, say, here, man, pull up a bar stool, man, get yourself a brewski, right? Let's grab a pizza. Let's get some wings. Let's get some burgers. Let's get some fries. Right? Everything's going to be okay. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about those challenging things. Right? No, that's all avoidant. That's all avoidant behavior. It's happy hour now, man. We're going to get happy. We're going to get tied up. Right? That's avoidant behavior. Because what are you avoiding? Right? The uncomfortable emotions that are running through your system. Right? Things that you've been through that you don't want to sit in and process. And that's par for the course. Most people don't want to deal with their emotional state of being. Most people don't want to truly sit there and feel their shit. I met someone the other day, super young. I didn't even know how old this person was, like 19, and she's talking like me. I'm like, what? Crazy. But it's pretty powerful. That's inspiring, is to know that the younger generation, even my own children, right, get hit with this type of message by my mentorship, by my fathership, right, by me leading them, right, that they're already on another level above me in their development because these seeds are being planted so early in life. And it's taken me hitting some major motherfucking rock bottoms, right, to really discover this hero's journey, this healing path, right? And it's a beautiful thing. And I know I trigger a lot of people, right? Because why? Because I challenge you. And that's the thing that seems to always be the indicator of the way, right? The way. I think there's a TV show. I know what it is, but I don't watch it. The way, the real way is healing, right? The real way is not turning to vices, right? Like drugs and alcohol and bullshit, right? To check out from yourself, to numb yourself out, right? The real way is to say, I'm feeling uncomfortable right now. I'm feeling really anxious. I'm here at a store and I need to get this stuff and there's a huge line and I'm pissed off now. Why? Why are you pissed off? Is the store supposed to know that you're showing up and you want the fucking red carpet? Right? You want them to like hand you a fucking drink and, know you're coming? Like, I get it. That would be nice, but that's not how it works. When other people just happen to show up and there's divine timing in that. That's a perfect example of just knowing, like, what is your state of being when you see challenging situations that don't expedite your life. I mean, it could just be traffic, right? When you got some little old timer driving in the fast lane, right? A big rig driving in the fast lane, someone with a trailer. We've all been there, right? And they're in your way, right? They're in your way because you're more important. And they're in your way and they need to move. What are they thinking? They're idiots. These are dumb motherfuckers, right? They're dumb. Again, that's having an opinion, but it's also knowing that, look, it's perfect. Every situation is actually meant for you, not to harm you. It's meant for you, for your protection. A lot of times we don't even realize this shit. Half of the time, these little hiccups, these little barriers, right? They protect us. They keep us in our own flow, right? But a lot of times it's just our own psychological construct where we're creating these things. We got disorganization in our minds and in our energy, right? In our emotions. So when we interact with the world, it's disorganized, right? It's murky, it's frustrating. But if that's your internal state of being, that's what you're going to experience. It's just more of what is really on the inside, right? Your thoughts truly translate into your reality. And again, 95% of your awakening state of being is subconscious programmed. And most of us are not programmed in the positive. Most of us are programmed in a negative way. And so how do you fix that? You have to start doing it with, you have to start living with some intention, right? You have to, like for me, what's really important is you have to start sitting there and journaling. You have to start writing some shit down, right? Start writing down your thoughts, being more aware. There's a powerful, powerful book that was sort of my first kind of like awakening, was The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle, where he talks about being the observer, right? The watcher. That's a powerful book. I literally listened to that book and just writing down notes because it was so powerful. And so many people, y'all just want this shit to be just happen for you. You just want to figure it out. You're an adult. You'll figure it out. That's kind of adulting, right? I'll figure it out. I have to figure it out. I got to figure out how to pay my bills. I got to figure out how to get out of this bind. I got to figure out. Sometimes it's not about figuring it out, right? Because in a lot of our ways of figuring shit out, it's survival mode. And it's not even really our truest form of who we are, which means that we'll manipulate, we'll lie, we'll cheat, we'll cut corners to figure shit out. And it's a lot of times done in desperation. And it has an energy of anxiety as opposed to being cool, confident, clear, focused, right? And accepting that when a situation is not perfect and that the road ahead is covered with obstacles and challenges, right? That there is growth and learning and lessons in that journey. We all want to be at the end. And I want you to get to the end of whatever it is you desire, whatever it is that you dream of. I want you to call that into your life. But you're not going to be able to truly get there, right? If you're not willing to become better than who you are today, better than who you were yesterday, last year, 10 years. And it's a measure of just micro improvements every single day over the course of time, that you improve yourself, that you start living with intention, right? That's how you grow. That's how you heal. But it's doing it with intention. You're not going to just sort it out in your head. Those of you that are so resistant to getting that journal and to start writing down some shit, it blows my mind. I know. But that's because most of you were so resistant in school. You hated school. You hated English class. You hated having to write papers and essays. And I get it. I taught 4th and 5th grade for 2 years, man. Public education. These kids, they hated it. But I try to make it funner by allowing them to do a lot more free writing, where I would throw something up there, a topic that they could go and research on YouTube or whatever source, right? And then that they would write about it. They would just free write, whether it be a paragraph. Some people, could only max out a sentence or two. And some people would write pages, but it would at least be something that would provoke their thinking and their imagination. And I think even as adults, we forget about that shit, our imaginations, right? And our thinking. And it's like, man, when you write something down, you're telling your mind, your body, your soul, the essence of who you are, that's really important when you write it down. And we live in this digital age where you ain't got to write no more. You can dictate to the phone, you can do all this other stuff. So the art of writing, it's like it's becoming less and less. But yet there is power in that does not exist in any of these other forms. And that's why I consistently, daily write shit down. I spend 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. If my mind's wandering a little bit, but I'll write one page, minimum one page of just affirmations of thankfulness, gratitude, right? Some forward thinking, right? Some visions of what I want to achieve, some reflections on how I can improve, right? That's about the nature of my journaling, and it works. But I can also sit there and give myself assignments when I'm struggling with something, when I'm seeing a pattern pop up and I'm saying, shit, man, how do I change up this pattern? I keep losing it. I keep getting upset. I mean, I'm not even dealing with that now, but maybe I'll keep having like a certain type of dream, or I'll know that I'm still struggling with an emotion, maybe around money and success, right? Prosperity, right? And I know another book that talks about an upper limit problem. And so I'll be trying to sit there and say, what am I still feeling insecure about? What am I still struggling with when it comes to just allowing myself permission to receive more and more and more and more abundance, right? What is that insignificance? What are those seeds that were planted in me that make me feel that I'm not good enough, that I'm unworthy, right? And those are those deep conversations that I have with myself. And that's part of the healing process. And if you're someone that's dealing with any kind of negative vice or addiction, bad habits, right? Know without a shadow of a doubt, underneath your bad habit is a uncomfortable negative emotion. It is a program that you have installed there, and it probably came from somewhere between 0 and 10 years old, and it's only gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and more habitual over time. And the way that you deal with the triggers that set this feeling, this emotion, right, that bring it back to the surface, is you do whatever you're doing, this self-sabotaging pattern, right? Drinking, doing drugs, overeating, overindulging, right? Just checking out, numbing out, watching too much TV, and yet feeling unfulfilled. And that's the problem. So many people, you guys feel like who feels, how many people out there just are like, man, my life is wonderful. Everything is great. My romance is great, right? Relationships are amazing. My health is amazing. My nutrition is amazing, right? My finances are incredible, right? I feel like I'm making a difference in this world. Like, I talk to some pretty exceptional people, and even all of those folks are still putting in a tremendous amount of work. And these people are people I look up to. So if you don't even really have a whole lot of results in your bag, right, for your measures of success, what are you waiting for? That is the way of this life, is all about effort, will, and energy, and putting yourself into motion to like challenge yourself to accomplish something bigger than yourself. Big goals, big challenges, right? You can't achieve and change something up. Like for me to become sober, I had to hit rock bottom. But just hitting rock bottom didn't create a sober man. Because I've been there before and done that before. And guess what? I went back. This time, what? We're drilling down on 11 years of sobriety. But just hitting rock bottom did not turn me into a sober man, right? It broke me enough. It smashed me enough, right? It fucked my situation up financially, emotionally, even from a free standpoint, right? Court cases, that I had to reevaluate my entire existence. Do I want to live? Do I want to die? Do I want to just keep doing this shit? Or is there something better? Is there a better version of me? Because this ain't working, clearly. And I had to hit that rock bottom in order to really have enough clarity and determination to say, I can't do this no more. I'm either dead. If I keep drinking, I'm going to for sure be dead, which means I'm not going to be around to see my kids thrive and grow. Someone else could be raising my kids and doing who knows what. And that also means that I could lose freedom, which is what we celebrated this week with burgers, dogs, and over drinking, some fireworks. Them founding fathers they're rolling in their graves about how you guys celebrate independence, freedom. They fought for that shit. They fought against tyranny. They said, hey, these motherfuckers want to control us. Fuck them. Let's go fight. You motherfuckers give away your freedom. Allow the government to do all kinds of nasty shit, controlling you, right? You just roll over, man. There's no fight. It's crazy. It's crazy with the founders. They would be fine. Yeah, man. It's wild what true patriots have given to give us the idea of being free. The freedom that we all take for granted, man. It's crazy. It's crazy how much we take that freedom for granted. And the biggest place where you got to free is right here, man. This mind. And it doesn't cost anything. But it does take you putting in effort every single day. Yeah, to lose freedom, man. Because I couldn't control what? My addictions. Because I had no control over my emotional state of being. Right? That I could get to a place of intoxication and anger and frustration, that I would lose my shit and I could lose my freedom, right? That I could be driving drunk, kill some fucking innocent people, right? Lose my freedom that way, die, kill myself, right? I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, I get it. I get it. I should be dead. I should be in jail. I'm not. I'm done fucking around. That's what it took for me, right? To realize that I believe there's a God. He's given me a lot of opportunities to just come peacefully. Unfortunately, because me, just like you, I was running 95% subconscious programs of survival, right? I kept going back to the same old habits, the same old patterns, and the same old people. And ain't nothing changed. Things just get worse, right? Because that's the truth, right? Whichever road you're on, things are either getting better or things are getting worse, right? Things are getting better or things are getting worse. Which are you right now? You have to honestly be honest with yourself. Most of you aren't. You're bullshitting yourself about your situation. You're posting shit that ain't really what the fuck's going on, right? And things are either getting better or they're getting worse. Which is it? And literally better means like improved health, right? Improved finances, improved success, right? Improved emotional health, improved relationships with people, like real improvements. You have to be able to show real improvements, new income coming in, new opportunities showing up, right? New PRs in the gym, new experiences outdoors, new accomplishments coming in daily, weekly, monthly, like constant improvement. You're either improving or you're getting worse. And most of y'all cannot show the results. That's why we got this mantra. You need to fucking overcome your excuses, because that is the shit. If you're living by excuses, I can't do that. I'm too old. I'm too busy. I ain't got time. Blah, blah, blah. Excuses, 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 right? You're getting worse. You're worse. And it's continuing to get worse. So that means that if you are living by excuses in 1 month, in 6 months, in 1 year from now, you will be worse off then than you are now. And you're already in a shitty situation. Right? This whole idea, oh, don't worry, man, just it'll get better. It'll get better. No, it fucking won't unless you actually start putting in some intention and some focus to make shit better. And it starts with you. You got to become better. Your money doesn't become better. Your job doesn't become better, right? Your family life doesn't become better. Your sex life doesn't become better. Your health doesn't just become better, right? Until you become better at being who you are, your true self, which means you got to quit bullshitting yourself and bullshitting others. That's what it takes. Because right now, if you are not feeling good in a lot of different areas of life, that means you're getting worse. That means you're on a downhill fucking trajectory to where? The rock bottom. Maybe you don't hit it that hard, but you will hit a bottom. Because this life should be measured by what? Consistently growing and expanding. And that journey can look like it's like arduous and challenging and you're getting your ass kicked and up and down the block. But if you're that fucking warrior that just keeps getting up and saying, I ain't giving up, and I ain't just sitting on my ass, and I ain't just saying I'm good, but I'm saying I want more because I know this is the way. This is the journey. Who do you idolize most? Think about the athletes, the entertainers, people that you idolize most, right? We can even just look at like Michael Jordan, 3-3-3s. I just saw 3-3-3s go across the board right now. That's how I know we're aligned. We're talking truth. You think about Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. I think they both had like the most documented transformational fucking work ethic when it came to their craft, their sport. And Kobe even more. I think he probably even took it steps further. He learned everything and emulated everything. Michael, they had a funny rivalry. Michael used to say, Kobe's stealing all my shit. But he took all of that he could gain from Michael, right? And then applied it to himself and then took it another step further with his workouts and his regimens. And ain't none of us seen that shit. All we do is see him miss a shot or, come up short or win the championship. We only see that. We didn't see his intensity and his commitment, but that was the journey. That is the dream. He talks about it. The hard work, working through injuries, pushing past the bullshit, pushing past the pain, getting past excuses, putting in the work with consistency. That was the dream, not just winning the championship. It was putting in the effort needed to become a champion. And you're being called to do the same. And I wish it could be easy for you guys. I wish it could be easier for me, but it hasn't. It hasn't. This last year and a half, getting this motel project to where it's at, we are so close. We are so close to having a wrap on the entirety of this project and launching and opening up to the public in its full vision. And it's been incredible. We have transformed an historic motel site in ways that everyone that sees this is blown away. But it has been the most challenging process, and it hasn't got easier the longer it's gotten. But we never gave up. I never backed down. I never shrunk. There's times I wanted to. A few times I probably even want to give up. Maybe even recently more than early on. Because, part of me is just human, right? Like, man, this should already be easy by now. It's getting even more challenging. And that's cool. Because I'm grateful that I now have some amazing people around me picking me up. When they see me maybe struggling, they're picking me up. But I'm picking myself up, and I'm continuing with the consistency of putting in the work and showing up, saying little by little, that's been our mantra here. Little by little, guys, little by little. We're not going to finish this project in a day, in a month, in a week. It's been over a year and a half, little by little, little by little. And people that have been on this property for generations and come here, they are blown away by what we have done. But it was little by little, little by little, little by little. That's the way. You can't just do the whole thing at once. It's little by little, little by little. And that's how you're going to change your life. But you got to be willing and ready to start changing. You got to be honest with yourself. When something is not giving you the desired outcome, the result you want, whether it's your finances are fucked, your income to debt ratio is a piece of shit, right? Whatever it is, right? Your job. If you want to change, you have to come up and be ready to say, I'm ready to change. I need to change this. I don't like feeling broke all the time. I don't want to be having to fucking live paycheck to paycheck. Right? I don't like investing in other people and then feeling like they're taking advantage of me, and I am alone. Right? When are you going to say enough's enough? And then guess what? It's this simple, but it's not easy. All you got to do is start investing in yourself. That's it. You got to start investing in improving your mindset. Right? And that starts by admitting that you got a negative fucking disposition, that you're a negative person. And a lot of that negativity could be because you've been hurt a lot. You've been let down a lot. Great. You've allowed for all of those circumstances to change the essence of who you are as a human. From being positive, being optimistic. And when you are positive and optimistic, you know it's an act. You know it's bullshit. It ain't coming from purity. You're doing it because you want something in return. That's the measure. If the only time that you're positive or at least helpful is because you need to get something in return, and your job is probably the number one indicator of that, when you have to show up and do a certain thing, so you have to kind of perform on a spotlight and have other people observing your work, right? Monitoring you. So you have to kind of be upbeat. Or when you're with a family, or when you're at a social group, you have to kind of put on a mask. Let's call it what it is. It's putting on a mask. But inside, you're feeling lonely. You're feeling depressed. You're feeling like a piece of shit, right? And all that's just critical. It's just a critical parent, a critical voice inside of you that's been beating you down since you're a little kid. And it's still beating you down, and it's still holding you back, and it's still making you feel like you're not good enough. And that's bullshit, because you are good enough. But in this world, you got to self-rescue, right? I know I hurt people when I say you can believe in Jesus. I believe in Jesus. and he's going to probably get my ass into heaven, but he ain't going to rescue me from this world right now. Right? The shit that's going on in your life right now, he is not going to rescue you from that. You got to do that yourself. Right? And you can do it having faith in him, but you have to do the work. You have to come up with the plan. You have to spring into action and find the inspiration to change your circumstances, right? To stop overeating, to stop going and doing things that don't align with your faith or with the best version of yourself, right? To start doing some new habits for health, right? To stop overspending, right? And if overspending is not the issue and it's just an inflow thing, well, how do you improve your value? How do you become more valuable to the marketplace? How do you increase your self-worth? That's the answer. Is self-worth, right? There's an incredible book. It's called An Instant Millionaire, but it's not sort of like a name it, claim it, that type of thing. It's really a book about self-worth. And if you ask yourself right now, and man, I have so many people squirming and explaining and trying to reason, but if you can ask yourself right now, in 1 year, what's the most amount of money you could imagine yourself making? Like, what's the most amount of money? The most amount. Right away, you're starting to reason, right? And whatever that number is that you come up with, when you finally come up with it, because most people are so scared to just to speak abundance, to speak prosperity, to speak opulence, right? Because they have low self-worth. You probably have low self-worth. So whatever that number is, right, that's what you're worth. And the thing is whether you said 50,000, 100,000, 1 million, 100 billion, right? They're all the same. It's all energy and it's all mindset. And your mind, as I said earlier, I used to have to try and figure everything out. You're trying to figure it out. You right away, before you could say the number, you had to try and say, I don't have a plan. I need to figure out how I could make that number. Because hopefully it's more than what you do now. But see, that's not how the universe works. That's not how God works, right? It's not your job to figure out every single fucking thing. That's what faith is about, right? It's your job, though, to get your mind right, to get your emotions right, to heal yourself along this journey called life, right? And what you eat, many of us harm ourselves by what we're eating. We're poisoning ourselves with overindulgence by eating fucking high saturated, high fat foods, processed foods, right? And we don't want to admit that. We don't want to admit we have an eating disorder. But yet, look, your self-worth is, it has to come with balance. It's not just money, right? You have to feel worthy of love. You have to feel worthy to receive abundance. You have to feel worthy to receive all that your heart desires. You have to feel worthy to be a healthy person, to look in the mirror. You have to feel worthy to like look in the mirror and be proud of who you see, stripped down naked, right? And knowing that if who you see is not who you think you are, because there's a disconnect there. And that's really where like video games and watching athletes on TV, boxers and all that shit, right? If we see it, we think that's us. We think that we're out there kicking ass. We think we're out there scoring those points and those touchdowns and, doing all that shit. And we're not. Our minds are weird like that. And that's why you have to become more meditative and visualizing of your own life. And that means you got to disconnect from all that distraction, because that distraction is keeping you on the couch and you're sitting there. And just imagine watching a video of watching you. on how you spend most evenings. You're sitting there. You're just sitting there watching someone else getting emotional, getting excited, getting sad, getting this, that, highs, lows, because you're watching someone else. You are literally connecting mentally and emotionally that is you doing it, and you're not. You're giving away your energy to someone else that will never really know you and never see you and never write you a happy birthday or give you a call and cheer you up someday. It's probably never going to happen. But look how much energy you send to those people and those teams and these things. And you need to be willing to at least step back and say, it's time to start investing in me, in my life, and the shit that matters to me, my dreams. And I always say that's journal exercise number 1. What do you love? What do you hate? What do you want? And why? And we're so afraid to write that shit down. What do I love? Write down the shit you love, right? I love hot springs. I love road trips. I love camping. I love hiking. I love massages. I love intimacy. I love making money. I love helping people. I love being healthy, right? I could go on and on and on and on. The real opportunity is, what do I hate, right? I hate being unhealthy. I hate this old version of me. I love him, but I hate that I let that guy get away with all the shit he got away with, right? And if I continue going down that hate list, trust me, this is the teachable moment, which is that's the biggest opportunity. Your biggest opportunities aren't to go after the things you love. It's to work on the shit you hate and figure out why. Why do you hate those things? Maybe something happened a long time ago and it just really messed you up. And so now you hate it, but you're not willing to give it another try. You're closing yourself off. And when you close yourself off to one thing, it's kind of like you've closed yourself off to everything. Right? And if you're someone that's wanting to receive more opportunities, more growth, more health, more abundance, more prosperity, right? More opportunities, more love, more kindness, more generosity, whatever you want to receive. If you're closed off in certain areas of your life, you're closed off. You are resisting these things that you truly desire. And we're walking contradictions in that way. And it's very challenging. But yet that is the way. The way is to start embracing the challenges. And the way you do that is by building up your self-worth, your self-confidence. Well, how do you build self-confidence? Right? Is by starting to do the things you say. Quit talking about other people and what they're accomplishing. Man, that blows me away. Where I grew up here in northern New Mexico, I mean, it's hilarious. I'll tell you an insider thing. The people I grew up with, like, we have this one-up mentality, right? And the only way you're going to one-up somebody is you can't do it about your own story. So if you caught a big fish, right? It could be something so stupid, right? Where you show somebody a picture. Hey, man, check this out, dude. I caught this big fish this weekend. Or, there's a lot of hunters out here. Hey, I killed this big ass bull or this elk or whatever the fuck. And usually everybody has to one up. So you'll be in a group of people, could be guys, could be girls. And they're like, oh, man, let me see that. Oh, that ain't shit, man. That ain't shit. My uncle's brother, sister's cousin's boyfriend, dude, he killed one or he caught a fish 10 times bigger than that. Oh, no, that ain't shit, man. My brother's uncle's sister's mother, her nephew caught one 100 times bigger than that one. And it's just like, there's no like, hey, man, dude, that's amazing. Like, high five, you caught, that's so cool. It's never like just celebratory of the moment of saying, hey, great job. It's always one-upping. Right? Because again, that you're showing an accomplishment, and this is a poverty mindset. When you show an accomplishment, it makes other people feel insecure. And they don't want to feel like they're not accomplishing. So the only way they can feel like they're not accomplishing is they need to either grab someone else's credibility and their accomplishments and turn down your light by saying, that ain't nothing, man. So-and-so is way better than you. Right? Because they can't even shine the light on themselves. So they got to borrow someone else's shit. And a lot of motherfuckers are doing that right now. And you've been doing it your whole life. Borrowing someone else's, looking at someone else's success, right? Cheering on the team that's always winning, jumping on the bandwagon of if your team didn't get in the Super Bowl, well, I'm not going to associate with losers. I'm with a winning team, right? And that's a whole, it's psychologically fuckery. It's all fuckery in our minds because we can't just sit there in ourselves, right? Deal and process with our emotions, with our insecurities, with our need to be validated, right? With our need for acceptance. We can't just sit there and say, why do I have all these issues going on inside of me? How do I start processing through this? And a lot of you guys, you need therapy. I needed therapy. I still need therapy. But maybe some of y'all need a coach. You need someone to guide the way. I'm going to keep getting on here. I share a lot here. But if you want to really drill down on specifics, then that's when you reach out. But when you reach out, that means you may have to reach in, and that's into your pocket because my time is worth a lot, right? But a lot of you will just sit there, right? And just keep watching your teams, keep being distracted and avoiding. But there will come a time where you will hit a bottom. And maybe that'll change you. Maybe it won't. It's your life, right? I'm going to keep getting back on this motherfucker, talking all this shit, trying to inspire motherfuckers to get off their asses and start doing some shit. It's the summer. It's a great time to be outdoors. But if the only way you could be outdoors is by getting drunk and high and fucking around, that's not that fun, right? Maybe that's your fun, right? But if you have to pay a price the next day in a negative way, waking up hungover, feeling like shit, eating bad, right? Then is that really fun? Right? Outdoor experiences should build you up, should leave you feeling inspired, should leave you feeling connected more to nature, to God, to the Creator, right? Connected to yourself because you're disconnecting from all the bullshit around you, right? They shouldn't leave you feeling like, fuck, man, I'm exhausted, dude. We hardly got any sleep. We went camping. We ate all this fucking burgers and dogs and overeating and over drinking. And all right, man, you keep doing you, but I'm going to keep doing me. And that's what's special. I get to do me. You get to do you, right? But just remember, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. Some of you are getting better at getting worse. Ooh, you know the drill. Results kill excuses. It's all on me. Greg's out.